Welcome back to the Digital Weather Center, everybody. I'm meteorologist David Nazario. Thanks for joining me here on clickorlando.com for the latest on your weather. And there's three particular headlines that I want to get across to you right away, and it's all going to have to do primarily with the heat. Now, first and foremost, next couple days are going to be pretty nice after our brief cool front, comfy front as I called it over the past weekend, came through Sunday night and kind of dipped our temperatures back down to about average. But by tomorrow and the rest of your week ahead, above normal temps are going to return. And then by Friday and especially Saturday into Sunday, we could see record high temperatures in play. You can take a look at the next 7-day temperature trend, and we are going to try to get as close to what feels like May outside ahead of our next cold front. Now, before we talk that temperature departure there between Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I want to talk rains because our drought continues to be an issue out there, as well as the fire risk. It looks like through next Monday, as our next cold front arrives late Sunday into the first half of your Monday, kind of seeing a rhythm here, if you know what I mean. This is what we're looking at in terms of our rainfall forecast, maybe trace amounts over the Florida Peninsula. There is a little bit of hope, though, because with our last system, it took our computer models a little bit of time to catch up. So we may see this ebb and flow a little bit, especially since this is a forecast out to about 6 or 7 days. Lots of wiggle room for things to adjust and hopefully come up a little bit in the moisture department. When you look at what's available for this system as the cold front gets to developing over Texas, Oklahoma, and then sweeps across the Gulf Coast states, you notice we've got a lot of dry air out in front of it, and then back behind it, we're doing very little to pick up any additional moisture to try to instigate more rainfall across the central Florida area as it sweeps through. You can see the clock stops around Sunday, middle of the day. We have that front and that moisture draped overhead, but we'll have to see if the warm temps outside are enough to give what moisture we can pull in enough oomph and juice to crank up some stuff. Now, when we look at this graphic I created called the drought versus the rain, the areas that are currently afflicted by extreme conditions are likely going to receive little in the way of relief over the next 7, if not 10 days. Right now, next week on Monday and Tuesday, that next cold front is the only feature we're tracking for maybe the rest of February that has even the smallest possibility of bringing us some much-needed rainfall. So that is definitely going to exacerbate the fire and dry conditions we are seeing throughout the Sunshine State. In fact, we're really embracing that nickname. When you take a look at something I haven't seen in a little while now, this is your UV index. Headed out to Friday. During the middle portions of the week, we are under a moderate risk. However, for Friday and Saturday, as those temperatures climb up to what we would expect during the month of May, right before the arrival of summertime, protection is advised if you're going to be outside for more than 30 minutes and greater than that, just because our UV index is going to be amped up, as you can see here. Forecast highs for Saturday are looking absolutely bonkers. The record in Orlando is 88 degrees. We're going to get very close in Orlando, as well as a few other spots, to smashing, if not completely obliterating records once again, just as we did with the cold at the very beginning of the month. So it's kind of interesting how Mother Nature just likes to go back and forth with us, a little bit like Mike Tyson's head movement or a metronome for my music fans out there. Started the month with record lows. Now we could be seeing some record highs, all in the span of about 2 weeks and some change. We'll go ahead and wrap things up with your 7-day forecast. Very uneventful forecast, to tell you the truth. You can see temperatures are going to continue to climb as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then into the weekend, take a look at those afternoon highs. Friday and Saturday with a little bit of a drop-off on Sunday as clouds and a little bit of rainfall try to build in. And then we cool back down Monday and Tuesday, albeit that is expected to be short-lived before the heat ramps back up.